former LSU wide receiver, Kyren Lacy. He committed suicide this past weekend, and today was supposed to be the day that the grand jury was to take his case. Mental health is a serious issue. When people sit into our chair, they release a lot of information to us. I know that you're in the barbering game yourself. How do you feel about this situation as far as the mental health side of it?
Hey, listen, let's get right into it. I'm a straight shooter, right? So when you're getting into certain levels in life, gotta watch who you hang around with, right? Sometimes it's family members, sometimes it's friends, but what it does is it's pulling that energy, right? It's pulling that current. So now, dude, he's waking up every day. I got to go out. I got to prove something. I got to make sure mama good. I got to make sure this person good, that person good. And then that process, it's taking a lot of energy. It's taking a lot of energy out of dude. So I'm sure with having to wake up every day and really you're not living for yourself no more. You see what I'm saying? You're not living for yourself no more. So you got people pulling from you and that affects the mental health. Because if you do not know how to deal with this stuff, man, at this level, then I mean you out of luck.
I just fall back on what Cameron said. These things, they pile up, and you got to wake up every morning dealing with it. Every morning, you got to go to sleep dealing with it. You might even be sitting there dreaming about it the whole time, and then you got to go out and deal with society. You got a court case coming up here. You're a former football collegiate athlete. These things weigh heavily on a person's mind, not just a black male mind. Anybody who has to go through something like that, and it just kind of like heighten uh, your mental well being, or it decreases your mental health to the fact that you need to reach out to someone and get some type of help at certain stages. I'm pretty sure somebody had to recognize, and I'm not faulting anybody,
Yep.
for this man's death, taking his life. It, somebody probably did recognize that something was wrong here. Maybe they did try to help him. I don't know, but at that point, you just really got to pull them out and say, "Hey, look, you need to sit down, settle down, and let's talk about this and get these type of things through. Otherwise, you know, your mornings are not going to be. You're not going to have good starts in your morning. You're not going to be able to get through this and things like this." And another thing that that have been discussed too. I know this is on the college level, collegiate level, but these things that these football athletes go through with CET, it kind of intensify your mental well being as well. And not only that these athletes they struggle with it while they're playing, but many years after their playing career is over. Okay, they have these mental health issues. I mean, just look at the situation with like Dave
Michael Vick,
Dorsey, Michael
Allen
Vick, all of them
Iverson.
going through this stuff. You can see this stuff right there in person. You may have never been in a space forever, but once you know, okay,
You
all
keep
right.
trying to
The
take care of
junior,
them
they
boys
said
and you
Junior
want to.
Seau, they knew things was going on with Junior Seau, before his career had ended, you know,
Right.
dealing with these type of stuff. And these things, you're dealing with CET, then you're dealing with these mental health issues. It's just a tough situation to be in. It really is.
My opinion on that is we all have to. There's a big wave of awareness for mental health. It's now being brought to the forefront, but it was always present. And unless you acknowledge it, deal with it properly, you're susceptible to whatever may come. One, improper decisions leading you to
Hmm.
do an action where somebody's life is taken. Two, the pressure from that decision and the hold and the weight that it carries on you to where you ultimately make the decision to end your own life. All of it, I'm pretty sure that there were warning signs prior to this. And if we don't start taking advantage of one, the resources that we have
Yep.
and start utilizing them, then we're leaving ourselves open for attack. We know that there's going to be pressures in life. It's called life.
And I
But
got a question.
when you're not properly defending yourself, when you're not armored correctly, whether by your own doing or by those that are around you, when you're not properly armed correctly, you're susceptible for the attack of anything.
A lot of the times is these cats are scared to admit that they have a problem. You see what I'm saying? You,
Because it
Right.
tells them they think that is unmasculine
it's
to say
unmasculine.
it's unmasculine to say I'm not okay. That's what society kind of breeds. We all
Hmm.
probably have some type of urban upbringing or just around people who had that, and in that environment you taught a lot of tools that's not really meant for you as a masculine man to keep hold to. One, don't show your emotions, don't cry. Like,
Right.
really? So where is my outlet? That
Yep.
leads, that can be a rabbit hole of, if I don't express this or have a proper way of dealing with this emotion, the
Yep.
outlet is going to be somebody, person, place, or thing.
Yep.
We can't
Yeah,
have
good
that
job.
because that can lead to abuse. It can lead to abuse of different types, physical, mental, and substance.
Yep.
It can lead from you just even doing your own body a disservice. Like, that
Hmm.
Yeah.
stress can cause other things in your body to go haywire. There
Exactly.
has to be, you have
Exactly.
to understand that if this is what's known, this is a part of life, I need to properly equip myself with the right tools, people, places, or things to where I can deal with these pressures or have an outlet to say, well, I'm not okay. If you have certain positions and certain titles, then
Yep.
you got to know the duties of each position and what it takes to do your duty correctly. As men, as us being barbers, we are an outlet for so many of our clients. I don't have to go over the different types of conversations we have in the shop, but we're that outlet.
Hmm.
So if I know that in some form I'm somebody's decompression, then I need to proper equip myself and do what I need to do as being the source to be in that environment, because I'm calling myself a barber, bro. You got to know what comes with the responsibilities of the titles in which you're seeking. Because if
Well,
you seeking this under a whole different agenda, bro, you going down the wrong hole. Now, I used to have the energy of where I wanted to attack and stand on and make notice of that, but that right there, that takes too much energy. So I just start moving in alignment with those who do and do what I need to do personally so I can be fueled and keep going.
You just
A
said it,
Rod?
Speed. The thing that you said is that we're outlet for a lot of people, right? So what happens
yes.
is we take on everything that they told us, and if we don't get to necessarily help ourselves, it starts breaking us down mentally and physically also.
Correct.
So we've got to be on point with us. Elijah, you got a few words in on this?
Man, y'all is preaching today. I
Man.
don't have anything else I can really say. I mean, you guys have covered it all, but when you get into a situation, especially with NIL now, doing on
Hmm.
top of this, and just like he said, you worried about, especially in the state of Louisiana, Alabama, places like this, you just trying to make sure mom and them is taken care of
Yep.
and making
Yeah.
sure
It's
everybody got a house over their head. So
yep.
that's
Everybody
what it
eating.
is, especially if your NFL card has been taken and you're trying to use NIL money to try to get to your spot of where you're going to need to. You don't know what to do. And that's what I think that cost it.
That
Yeah,
pressure,
I believe so.
that not having
I
that
That's
believe so.
that's
guidance.
pressure. That's stress.
And
You
That's
know,
pressure.
and it goes back to show you all the talent in the world. It don't mean nothing if you ain't got your dome straight.